mwenye kuna bibi na watoto wawili, na tunaishi kijijini hapa penye tunakaa hapa Marigo 4. Kana ile changamoto tunapitia ile, utapata umeenda kazini unapigiwa simu, moto imetokea, so naona inakusumbua akili sana. Enda kutafuta, maybe kuja kutafuta, saa zingine upati, unapigiwa simu nyuma. So ile changamoto tulikuwa tunapitia ya kijiji, nikasema umechomeka hapa, unataka kwenda mali nyingine, unataka kuhamia mali nyingine, hakuna mali mzuri, so bado unapata bado kijiji. So nikasema pana, wacha nichukue familia niwapeleke nyumbani, niishi hapa kama bachelor, ni mimi nitafute, nikienda nyumbani, nikitafuta nikipata naenda kuwatembelea. Nafanya kazi ya welding and fabrication, natengeneza madirisha, milango, gates, grill, doors, stairs, natengeneza hizo zote. Ndio niweze tupata kazi ya affordable housing, hizi kazi za kusupply dirisha na milango kwa zile nyumba za affordable housing zinajengwa huko Mkuru. Tuliitwa kivikundi na chief. Tuliambiwa kwamba tuende pale kwa chief, tuongee, mafundi wakutane, waongee kuhusu zile wale mafundi wakutane kuhusu zile wenye wanatengeneza madirisha na milango. So tukakutana wale mafundi wengi, tukaambiwa tutengeneze vikundi ili tuweze kupewa kazi za dirisha na milango to supply affordable housing. But it was a long journey. So wengine wakatoka njiani kwa sababu wanaona kama tukaende kesho bado, but tuliambiwa tufuatilie itatokelezea. But my team wali proceed. Hapo awali hizo tenda walikuwa wanapea Wahindi, zile kampuni kubwa, but His Excellency the President William Ruto recognize. Mheshimiwa William Ruto alikuwa anataka kuprove ya kwamba Juakali people can do these works. We can do it here in Juakali. Badala ya kupea wale. Sasa hii harakati ya kutengeneza hizi dirisha na milango kusupply pale affordable housing, tukaona kwamba tunaweza pata hizi nyumba, because hizi nyumba hatungeweza kupata. So unapata wenye wanaishi hapa kijiji ndio wanaandika majina, unapata wamepewa kadi, wanapewa nini. So nilikuwa nashindwa na hii line tutapata kweli? Tukangangana tu na kazi yetu. So siku moja tunasikia State Department wanatutetea sana sisi Wanajuakali. Wanatutetea sana. Wakatuambia mnaweza pendelea kupata hizi nyumba muishi huko ndani badala ya kuishi kwa kijiji. Wakasema tunaweza. So tulienda pale, tukapewa nyumba, tukaambiwa tujaze hizo maforms, tukaambiwa tulete KRA pin, tukaambiwa tulete tax compliance, hizo ma certificates zote tukapeleka, na tukaweza kupata nyumba pale penye zinajengwa pale. So tuna supply at the same time we have benefit kwa kupata hizo nyumba, hizo rooms. Zile vitu zinanipea nguvu sana, ama zile vitu nitakuwa nimeziondokea. Kwa nimeziondokea zile magonjwa za kila mara, homa, malaria, nini, sababu zile mazingira ya kijiji, ndaro ndio hiyo, river ndio inapita hapo chini yetu. Maisha ya venye tunaishi yani haiko sawa. Sasa pale kila kitu iko clean. Hata ukiangalia nyumba tumepewa pale ndani, rangi iko sawa, choo iko ndani, naishi ndani, choo iko hapo ndani. Hakuna ile tunasumbuana na jirani nje ama neighbor, ama unatoka nje unapata mtaro, mtu ametupa takataka karibu na mtaro. So tutaishi pale, tutaishi maisha mzuri. Mtoto akienda shule, anaenda shule akitembea kwa barabara imetengenezwa mzuri. Hii haujui hata kama mtoto ameingia kwa mtaro, maji imeenda naye, hauwezi jua kuishi kwa kijiji. Unasikianga tu simu, mama nani, baba nani, nasikia. So hizo vitu zote zimetokea. Wale waamini, nawaambia waamini.
Are you looking for video live streaming services? You want your church services to be on air? You do not know where to market your goods and services? At Sound Candid Talk, we deliver the best live stream services for your events, product and service launches, conferences, weddings, and live. Reach on us today. We also work on creating documents, feature stories, explainer videos, 3D animation, and anything media related. We also offer consultation on media related topics. Our work is timely, professional, and very affordable. So talk to us, soundcandytalk@gmail.com, or you can call us on 07 18 45 45 85. Tunazunguka kote kote mchana kutwa kukuletea taarifa na matokeo ya habari kutoka pembe zote za ulimwengu. Jioni tunaweka mduara wa kujadili taarifa zizo hizo kwa mapana na marefu. Ungana nasi kila siku ya wiki kwenye matukio ya siku saa 2 jioni kwenye Sound. Sound Candy Talk Live News. Are you looking for video live streaming services? You want your church services to be on air? You do not know where to market your goods and services? At Sound Candy Talk, we deliver the best live stream services for your events, product and service launches, conferences, weddings, and live. Reach on us today.
And now to a developing story. Former Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua has yet again launched a scathing attack of President William Ruto's administration, accusing it of plotting an elaborate and deadly assassination. Gachagua now claims a highly trained state-sponsored killer squad has been deployed to eliminate him using slow-acting poison. The explosive allegations come amid attacks targeting the fiery DCP party leader for alleged incitement and violence. David Mudhoka has the full story.
Amid sustained attacks for fanning the flames of political violence in the wake of fiery and controversial pronouncements, former Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua has upped the ante by firing back at the state.
Welcome, are you ready?
Gachagua has issued yet another chilling accusation in Kenya's recent political history, claiming the state has orchestrated a plan to assassinate him, drawing from a Sunday incident in Murang'a.
While attending a church service in Katanga constituency, yesterday, Sunday, the 18th May 2025, I received intelligence reports that President William Ruto had ordered that I be dealt with once and for all. And since the goons sponsored by the state on several occasions had failed, police and other state security agencies had to come in.
Gachagua claims, but without proof, that the plot was sophisticated. A silent killer was to be deployed in plain sight.
The killer squad was joined by their counterparts who are highly trained in the use of biological weapons. The instructions...
572. Yeah, I flagged that. So 1211. Yeah, and so we do have, back to Senator Muma's point. Yes, the ideal is 1 teacher to 25 pupils, but I find myself in a situation where there are some areas where the parents, which is a good thing, almost all the kids go to the public ECDs, and that's a bit further from town. That seems to be the case. So what we have sat down with the Department of Education and decided is, as we hire teachers, we are going to send more to those areas and build more classes in those areas versus, because I mean, we only have so much resources. So we are trying to make sure here the issue of equity comes in. So where there's so many pupils in a class, we begin with building more classrooms there and hiring teachers for them to depopulate. What is the word? To decrease the population in those classrooms. So yes, even before we focus on getting those in the private ECDs into our public schools, I want to first make sure that in ours, at a maximum, like you said, is 30. So we give 36 chairs because of the overflow. I did ask my team what happens practically on the ground where you give 36 chairs and there's 100 students. And I'm told the schools already had some older, those older bow ones. So that's what they're using. So we are working on that step by step, progressively, financial year after financial year. In addition to that is the teachers. So because we can build the classrooms, but if we don't have the teachers, then it doesn't make sense. So it's a challenge a little bit, but we are increasing the amount that goes towards ECDs because we know it's a very important foundation for our children. And so we are working on that. On the hexagonal tables, I will wait to hear on that because I imagine the shape. I'm not very familiar. We did ask why our chairs look like a triangle. Is it a triangle? And I actually wondered, how does a kid see the board when they are sitting this way? And was informed that it's more for group activity at the ECDE level. And when the teacher is teaching up there, then the kids sort of rearrange the chairs. But I can't wait to hear the hexagonal. As we said, we want to leave here today also getting better, because you see a lot of counties, you see what everybody else is doing. Yourselves, like Professor Kamal, have been actually university professors. So I'm sure along the way you've seen a lot of this and can give us also, this knowledge we'll be able to take away from here, and we look forward to that. And finally, on the issue of toilets, Senator Muma, that is a very, very, very important issue, because as I came into office, I had so many ECDs that didn't have safe, and we are still working on them. Some didn't have safe toilets, where you see the toilet is actually even about to fall down, and you can imagine a little kid going into that. Or, as you said, because ECDs are in primary schools, the toilets, the big kids would come and sort of the little ones are not able to go, anyway, it's been an issue. So what we are also doing is, as we build the classrooms, we are building the toilets and making sure they're just only used by the ECDE students and not the bigger students.
Thank you. At least I'm happy that you understand that very well, Your Excellency. Yes, Senator Kenywa.
Thank you. I want to agree that the presentation was very good. Of course, expected nothing less than that from Susan. But Madam Chair, she has not indicated the breakdown of PP1 and PP2. All what I'm seeing is in public, we have boys, girls, and then the totals, and showing the way they have been increasing. So there's no breakdown. Another thing I didn't see, I just saw the salary, but for only one grade or one job group, that's G. Does it mean everybody in Nakuru, they all fall under this category? We don't have other jobs, so that we see what is the payment for the other job group. Or maybe the governor strategically picked the one that they're paying very well to show what's happening in Nakuru. On feeding program, Governor, I am one person who keeps asking that question about whether children are being fed, and I'm happy. You have even shown the breakdown, what is contained in that region. The only thing I'm shocked is that there is even Staphylococci, which I thought Staphylococci and Salmonella typhi. Yeah, the microbe levels. No, they're saying it's okay. Yes, they're here. I was reading here. I saw Staphylococci.
Which page, Senator?
Page 2.
Little knowledge is dangerous.
Yeah. No, I'm just showing you the levels. No, all what I'm saying is that the breakdown is so neat that she even showed what it details the microbials that are there. Thank you.
Senator Kenywa, what you didn't say is, so far this is the cheapest we've seen, costed at 16 shillings per child.
I didn't want to talk about it that way because she is, the senator.
It is important to note. It is important to say, to highlight what is good, so that we can encourage other counties to follow suit, please.
Okay. I'm guided.
She doesn't have a factory for porridge. Like somewhere who's planning a public.
Chair is not fair to other male governors when they are being bashed. You know, it's done here deliberately. Please.
No. We just want to show you that where ladies are, things are done perfectly, especially matters children. Yes, Senator Seki.
Thank you, Chair. I can see Governor has a very good, environment. He has a very good environment. Now that he has so many ladies here. I want to ask the Governor one question, maybe. What about the 1.8 million for the classroom? Does it is only a classroom, or you have also a center? Are you grouping? Because I've seen many of the schools or many of the counties have centers, ECD centers. So are you just making or building classrooms rather than going the center option? Because I think the center option also includes the entire thing, and it will also help you in trying to minimize space and something like that. I think it is good that you answer that question so that we're able to see, and that is what is important. That's why we insist on the policy, that we need a policy such that now that becomes something that will talk across, so that tomorrow you finish your term and another person will come. It needs to follow up on something that is there, a structure that is there, and that structure that is there is the policy, because this policy will talk more about the center rather than just coming, you do another classroom, another one comes and do renovation of the same thing as you are doing it. So I think it is good that we got that option. So maybe you can just answer that question.
Thank you, Senator. I think that is also heavy. Part of the answer is on page 1. Senator Bethu.
Thank you very much, Chair. It is a pleasure to see Governor from Nakuru again, former Majority Whip of the Senate, who was defeated by the President and the party leader of her party when she disagreed. So we have the best run from.
We will see her behind the tent.
I mean, that is public knowledge.
You lead it.
Yeah. That's public knowledge. She was a Majority Whip of the Senate.
I'm saying you need mentorship. You truly need mentorship from her.
And I'm actually happy that I'm following in her steps. I saw her discouraging me, and I was wondering, why does she not want me to live her dream? And I am also very happy that I've seen that she's doing very well in terms of the investment in the ECDE part of the. I've seen that 6% of your budget goes to the ECD, which is very commendable and very good. And as a young parent, because you are a young parent like myself, I know we all benefit from this investment. May I ask 3 questions very, very quickly, starting with page 33. I've seen the salary for ECD teacher on job group G. May I know whether they have a category of salaries for teachers? Because I thought they are graduate teachers, ECD teachers, certificate teachers or diploma teachers. What would be their salaries? Because this is just for one specific group, job group. So that teachers employed by the county government of Nakuru are on permanent and pensionable terms as per the scheme of service. On the second table, it shows that the current ECD teachers. I hope you got my question. Number 3, I want to go to page 1. Which is also very commendable, by the way, Governor. Not very many people want to take this challenge of giving children these basic meals, either milk or porridge. And there's something about, I think, female governors, because we saw it in Machakos. We are seeing it in Nakuru. We are not seeing it in Nyandarua. I think there's something about female governors. I don't know what. Thank you very much for taking this challenge. I've seen the budget is quite hefty. If anybody would not want to put 200 million just for porridge, many people would want to use it to build feeder roads and what have you. But then an investment in our children is a good investment. Now, on page 1, to support the school feeding program, the county has constructed 8 kitchens. I think that is paragraph bullet 3. 8 kitchens at a cost of 2 million. The kitchens are intended to serve the surrounding schools in a ward. So I want you to underline 8 and also underline in a ward. I think I know the number of wards in Nakuru. So the 8 are deficient and they can't be able to serve a ward. So I want to know how these are distributed. Maybe finally, Chair, I think for next time, as we congratulate you for doing very well, your minister should be able to take this and capture correctly for us to be able to get this graduation of the numbers. Maybe you can prepare it as per sub-counties. That is what I see in many other counties. The presentation will be better so that we can be able to know what are the number of boys in this sub-county, what are the number of boys in this sub-county, and therefore we can be able to do a comparison. Otherwise, congratulations and asante sana.
Governor, please. Senator, please let's give Governor a chance to answer those because they're from 3 senators, and then we can continue.
Thank you, Chair, and thank you, members, once again. We begin with the question by Senator Kenywa on the PP1 and PP2. Yes, on that I concede. We did not have a breakdown on that. We just did the boys and girls in general, and then the total. So in the going forward, we'll make sure to do that.
Maybe, Governor, we could request that that would be one of the documents that you're going to give us to redo and send to us.
Sure.
Maybe in a week, 7 days.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's sufficient. Yeah. So we shall redo that and get it to you within a week, within 7 days. On the salary, I actually knew that question was going to come up. I don't know how I knew, but on the salary and not having, sorry, let me rephrase that. On the salary, we only have one job group, G, in the county. And what we do is when we advertise for the minimum qualifications, which are still sufficient to teach the classroom. And the reason being, because we want to give them terms that make sense. And I'm also told that we are one of the higher paying ones, one of the higher paying counties across the country. Yes. So what we do is we advertise for the minimum qualifications, and then we progressively just keep hiring so that we make sure we fill the gap. But we've only managed so far to get to 841 actually. And you had a very good question. I think that was Senator Meadow. Let me just mix up the answers because it's on the same issue. You had a very good question regarding the 841 that are permanent and pensionable versus the total that is the 2,152. The balance, if you look at table on page 5, the first table on page 5, you will see what says contract there from the county is 0. But we have BOM teachers who are 1,311. So that is what gives us the 2,152. But even as we recently hired, priority is given to those BOM teachers so that we keep absorbing them and the parents don't have to contribute, I guess, towards their salaries. So that is the difference you see there. So all our centers are manned by the 2,152 teachers.
On a point of order, just for clarity,
yes,
these teachers on contract, have they met the minimum requirements that you mentioned in 841?
Some of them have, actually almost all of them. Every now and then we'll have a problem because I have...
Sergeant Atam, can you finish what you're doing, please? You're distracting.
Yeah. Sorry. When I go around and say, for example, we are giving bursaries and we are talking to parents, and some of the issues you'll hear some parent in maybe Solai tell me, oh, we've had this lady who's been teaching here for 26 years. Please, I mean, it's many years. They'll say that I know they were not ECDs, but maybe they were nursery. I think that's what the name was. So what we do is then when we go back, obviously the advertisement is open to everybody, but we have the board then first tries to make sure that for that specific center, we priority is given to the BOM teacher if they apply. Very few times have we had an issue where the teacher, maybe they've been there actually for 20 years teaching, but the qualifications we're asking for may not necessarily meet. That's been very rare, but generally they meet them.
Do you have teachers for the? I don't want this last one, Chair. Is the last one. Do you have teachers that were in the defunct municipalities and?
Yes. That's actually why I'm saying it's like they have been teaching for 20, 26 years because it's the council, the municipality.
So they fall under these PNP?
No, many of them we are absorbing them from the BOM as we go along.
Maybe let me just clarify again on the same issue.
The chair, let you know the next.
Sorry, Chair. Just a continuation of the same question. Governor, I think we need to look at we need to know the teachers who have been in the front local authorities so that we also see their table. I believe they have more salary even than more than this one. That is what I know, because I understand that they were having bigger salary than the one that you are providing here. Secondly, Chair, I would see something that will be a baggage, also a burden to the county. If you go in this direction of bringing all the teachers in one job group, be it degree, diploma, certificate, I am happy that you're giving them good salary. I can see it, and I'm sure you have a very good salary, more than any other county. But I think it will be a very big burden to the county, especially when it comes to common cadre positions like this one, because they will be progressing every financial year. I hope that the board is also here, one of the members of the board is here. If that will happen, then it becomes a big burden to the county because they will be progressing every financial year, and you add a lot of money. So it's good that also you scale according to their qualification rather than just putting them in one category, because it will reduce the burden of the county in terms of financial implication. I hope the finance CC will note that one, because it has been happening that even when you are giving them increments, annual increments, promoting them, you promote almost the entire cadre in the same here. So I think that one can be noted so that next time we don't just group them in one job group, all of them.
I think that is that. Is there any other question which is not answered?
Sorry, Chair. Back to Senator Kenya's question. Actually, I have been told that all municipal teachers were absorbed, all of them. But due to natural attrition, obviously, many of them have aged out. So we only have 12 left. They were at a higher, their salaries were a bit higher than the rest of the others, but only 12 left. I have also listened to you very carefully, and I do get your point. It's an important point, Senator Seki. And I believe that what we did with the minimum qualifications is because we wanted them to come in at the at a lower job group so that we're able to hire more teachers. Because we felt if we bring in the degree ones and all that, then I only have 841 teachers. I need to get to 2,000. So slowly progressively, I can only afford to hire like 100 and something per year. Though our goal actually, somebody did ask on our long-term vision. Our goal was to be able to hire at least 500 ECDE teachers every financial year, at least for 3 years, to be able to get to where we need to be so that the BOM teachers, the parents are not paying for these teachers. But we only have so much in terms of resources. And that's why we brought them all at the very basic level, at the minimum qualifications, so that we don't pay some so much that instead of hiring 2 teachers, then I have to hire 1. But I hear you, because over time also it's a double-edged sword. Then over time we have to progressively increase their salaries. I had one more. Senator Seki too had talked about the centers versus just a classroom. I think at this point, which is a good point, at this point, when we talk about our classroom, it's just the surrounding or the accompanying infrastructure that's in that 1.8 term. It's not a center in the sense where maybe eventually, I don't know, sometimes I feel like I have such a large county with such a big population as well. You know, some counties are large geographically, but maybe the population is not so much. But I have a large county with a very high population, which is great actually, and very young population also. So that I would wish to be able to have an ECD where I can do a classroom and a teacher's office. But right now, the best I can do is provide a table for the teacher and the cabinets in the classroom, because I need to build another class somewhere where there's 100 kids in one class. But eventually, I agree with you. I think that should be the goal. We should move that way, in that direction, for even those who come after me. On the issue of the Senator Meadow, I think I answered that on the PP, on the permanent and pension of the BOM. On the school feeding program, the 8 wards, yes, Nakuru has 55 wards, but because of money, we are only able to do it progressively. So right now we've done 8, and what we've done is sort of concentrated on where the populations are very high and also close, like in town, where one kitchen can handle 5 schools, so that it's easy to distribute the food eventually. But our goal is to be able to at least have the 55 kitchens progressively, as we also get ready, maybe in a few years, God willing, to do food, even if it's just lentils and rice or something like that. So we are working on that, and we hope to do better by the next time you see us, to have increased a bit more. I think, Chair, that was that was it for that round.
No. Thank you, Governor. There was one outstanding. Mine, I already asked it, so I'm just reminding the Governor.
Oh.
On the ratio of male to female teachers.
Oh, sorry. Yes, you did say, teachers.
Yes, male to female teachers. So
You also,
you don't employ only female teachers.
oh,
I asked.
Senator, that one is a new question, but let the Governor answer.
Well, maybe I asked it in my
And
mind.
I urge senators, please, let's move faster. Please, we have another governor coming in at 11, so please consolidate all your questions.
sorry, Chair. Let me answer one thing I forgot actually, and I had seen the page. It was actually Senator Meadow, though he's also asking those that were in his head then at that time. There's one that you asked about the constituencies and the number of pupils. I think it was Senator Meadow. We actually have a table on page, what page is that? Page 5. No, I'm sorry. Page 5. On page 5, you will see the number of teachers and the enrollment of students. So that Bahati has 2,554 students and 101 teachers. Yeah, page 5. But all the teachers, so that Senator Meadow, you get that through the chair. All the males who applied this last recruitment, I'm told that all the males were taken, because apparently there were not that many, but all of them were taken.
Yes.
Yeah. And PWDs, all the ones who applied, all of them got jobs. As teachers, yes. Yes.
Okay. Chair, senators, yes. Let us make progress, please. Senator Murango, our visitor is asking, our friend is asking if she could ask one question, and members for having me. And thank you, Governor. It is on. Thank you, Governor, for the great work you've been doing in Nakuru. In fact, I commend you, and I know you must be very passionate about ECD, especially in view of the fact that you're a new mother, and congratulations. I know in a few years, maybe the babies will also be in the same classes. My question is, I see in page 47, you have talked about, in the report, you have talked about insufficient resources to train the ECD teachers and instructors on the CBC and competency-based education and training, CBET. In view of these insufficient resources, have you been able to maybe customize some of the classes to take care of the special needs children? And also, because of the budgetary constraints, are you able to ensure that these children also have caregivers, not just the teacher, like an extra person, a caregiver within the classes? Do you have that? And if there is insufficiency of resources, what is the level of that insufficiency? And finally, to commend you, because at some point when you were on leave, we almost thought Nakuru no work is going on. But I'm seeing you have very strong teams who have been working, and I want to congratulate them. And I see they're a young, energetic team. And you keep going. We know your county should be the sample county, especially with a woman governor. Thank you.
Thank you. Maybe you could just comment because she wants to leave.
Chairman, you know, am I asking?
Senator Murango, please. I asked and I said that we let the, because she asked that she wanted to leave. You are coming next, Senator. And you are coming next, please. She requested. Governor, please.
Governor, please note the national government has refused to give county government 450 billion. He's talking about 4.5. That's why you have problems here.
Governor, please.
Thank you, Chair. Thank you very much, Senator Veronica Maina, through the chair. Yes, we do have special schools where we have some in Joro, Hill Special, Ngara for the deaf. And we are trying to do as much as we can to make sure that they have a good environment for those kids. Sometimes you're not able to put them in the classes. If I got your question right, in light of the insufficiency of resources, you're not able necessarily to put them in the same class as the others because they would be left behind too much. We already don't have enough room for the others. So, and some of the disabilities are a bit more severe than others, so that inclusion becomes a bit difficult. So we do have those, and we make sure that they are well taken care of. They are also given the same resources as far as the chairs, the tables, and good school infrastructure, so that the schools are friendly to the children with the disability. That's Marsha, actually, that's an area that I have a lot of interest in, because I do remember a few years back in Nakuru, I would visit some special schools and find that I think there was one in Bahati. I think it was Bahati, where in Lanet, where the special school was the toilets that had been converted because there was no room in the school. The kids kept being pushed out of the classrooms to give room for the other students, that some toilets there had been fixed up and the kids were learning from there. So we swore that that will never happen on our watch, and it shouldn't happen at all. So we are working on that. On the insufficiency of resources, some of it is part of, I think we haven't gotten to that question you're asking on page 47. However, very generally, if my CCM, so that you can also answer a bit, you can explain a bit on some of the challenges we are facing as far as insufficiency of resources.
Thank you, Your Excellency. On the insufficiency of resources towards CBC, we shall all agree that CBC is a little challenge, even for the national government, and we need to do a retooling of all our teachers. So we are constantly training them. We recently had a training with KICD. So we are looking for partners to come and assist us in retooling the teachers. Yes, that is basically what we are doing. Yes, and also on CBC, for the period, you know, the terms of materials and what have you that are required in order for children to go the competency curriculum-based way. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Excellency. Senator Murango, please.
Asante.
Thank you, Senator.
Asante Mheshimiwa Mwenyekiti, kwa sababu ya muda nadhani nitatoa tafsiri yangu fupi. Kwanza nimpe kongole Governor kwa kazi nzuri ambayo unafanya, kwa sababu unajua kongole ni kwa kina mama, hongera ndio kwa wanaume. Kwa hivyo kongole kwa kazi nzuri ambayo unafanya. Mheshimiwa Mwenyekiti, kitu ambacho imenifurahisha sana ni lishe ambayo unapatia watoto Nakuru. Na najua Nakuru ni gatuzi kubwa sana. Kwetu Kirinyaga hatuna. Kwa hivyo ingawa sisi kaunti yetu ni ndogo, unafanya kazi nzuri sana. Pia naona virutubishi ambazo umeweka katika chakula ni nzuri katika kuhakikisha kwamba wale watoto wako kule wako sawa na wanakuwa kwa njia inayofaa. Jambo la pili, pia nimeona unalipa walimu vizuri, ambao huo ndio binadamu ambao tunataka kutoka kwa magavana. Tumeona wengi sana ambao hawachukulii kwa uzito, wanachukua walimu kwa bei rahisi, kwa urahisi kama bei ya chumvi. Lakini kazi yako nzuri, pia nimeona unalipa walimu vizuri, umeajiri wengi, na kwa sababu pia mimi najua Nakuru kwa sababu nimeishi hapo Molo, wakati mwingine najua hiyo ni kazi kubwa sana unaofanya. Na jambo la mwisho pia, nakala ambazo umeleta zimepangwa vizuri, ni nadhifu, zinasomeka, weledi wa kufanya kazi unaonekana katika stakabadhi ambao umetuletea kama kamati ya Seneti. Kwa hivyo Medho anauliza kama tunaelewana. Gavana anaelewa. Kwa hivyo kwa mara nyingine tena nasema kongole. Sitauliza maswali kwa sababu ya muda, lakini kuna mengi sana ya kusoma kutoka kwako. Asante sana.
Thank you, Senator. Asante sana, Senator. Senator Kenya, please, hiyo tutakujibu tukimaliza mkutano. Professor,
thank you, Chair. Thank you, Murango, for saying that there was no question because none of us understood what you were saying. You have saved my friend. I want to thank you, Governor, for what you are doing. I think you have been congratulated by many. Even the analysis of the porridge is a clear declaration that you are not hiding any information from anybody. I was just wondering about PP1, PP2. If we are building one classroom in one center, then is it 2 classrooms? 1.8?
No.
1.8 times 2?
No, Senator. It's the 1.8 is for one classroom.
Okay.
And that has the furniture. The furniture, ceiling,
So you have 2, just that one?
Yes, we have
We have 2 in each center.
In each center, yes.
Thank you. Then that is okay. Then page 5, on the issue of the permanent and pensionable, I want to congratulate you for one thing. If you never gave the porridge and decided to hire these POM teachers, initially I had that as a question. Why the parents are hiring more than the county is hiring? But if you never gave the porridge, nobody else will give the porridge. So I'm now satisfied that you diverted your money to pay, to make sure that the children are alert, which is something we must do. A number of governors have really failed on that one. There was one documentation that we have been asking about the teachers themselves and their salary job groups, but you have given us one. Another wise one, which I think as senators will carry to the next level when we start comparing the counties, because the document will come back to you and would like to meet with the Committee of Education at some point to standardize how we are doing things. This one of the minimum, so that you have one job group. It doesn't matter, a degree holder can decide to use this salary, but it's the same salary. I think that's the wisest I've had since we started this agenda. I just have one question. You have 2 model pre-primary schools, one in Naivasha and one in Nakuru. Why did you decide to give a model class? Knowing that the children's rights, according to the Constitution, Article 53, equal access. I am one of those who killed national schools. I've talked about it for almost many years. Why would this be? I want the wisdom behind having a model primary school. And finally, my tables, as everybody knows, CEC, you are giving a rectangular table, 3 children, 3 children. If you have children fight, it's part of the game. When they sit on a row, you have taken my pen, I've taken your pen, and they have their equal space, and they are facing their own table. They meet at the center. And if the teacher wants to put something to copy from the center, every child will sit equally. You don't have distance. The problem with the rectangle is that there is distance for the far child to the center. But when you have an hexagonal, everybody has their own space. There's no fight over space. And I thought that was the hexagonal table has always been the best. Yeah. Yes, we will do it when we do the comparative and share the documents. We'll give them what we think would be ideal. So thank you. I know we didn't want to come back to the ECD, but we know when we got the challenges. Let me just touch on the challenge that Senator Veronica touched on, Governor, the insufficiency of resources. In this committee, we are looking at ECD. we are looking at VTCs, and we're looking at bursaries. And we keep asking governors, when you tell us you don't have sufficient resources in ECD and you have resources in bursary, something that has not been devolved, the money is still in the central kitty. We ask that big question, why are you spending your money to do things that don't belong to you? And I know, I think before you arrived, there was an intergovernmental discussion on bursaries. And as Senate, we made our pronouncement from the floor of the House that if that bursary is going to be devolved, the money must follow the function. If that function of bursary comes down, then you must demand. And I know you are very tough whip. You must whip your governors to make sure that if they give bursaries, the national government must give you new money, not the current money that we have. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. And as actually Governor, you had noted, he was here earlier, but he had not introduced himself. So the team does not know who he is.
Yeah, thank you, Chair. My name is Jones Mwaruma. I'm the Senator for Taita Taveta, a member of this committee. I left because there's a colleague who had fallen sick, so I rushed to Aga Khan. Karibu sana, Governor Susan Kihika. I must say that it's been a long time since we met. I worked with Senator Kihika in the last parliament, and we were together in the committee of energy. I know she's a very energetic lady and very brilliant. Now, let me ask my question because we are running short of time. And I don't know if it has been asked, but it's a matter of professional development. Because for teachers, a theorist called Professor John Cotton Dana said that you must teach, must never cease to learn. So in matters of professional development, how do you organize them? Is there a budget for and a program for professional development? What do you do in professional development? Like, for example, is it retooling for CBET and CBC? Is it material development? Because then with scarcity of resources, we need to train our teachers in improvisation and so on. So what do you focus on? How frequent are they? Are they programmed for, or they are sporadic? And so on. I need to know how professional development is carried out in Nakuru County.
Through you, Chair, mine is not a question, but a follow-up. I'm requesting that as they give us further documents, you provide how you are supporting learners with a disability. You mentioned some special schools. We want to know, are those public schools, are those private schools, and what you're providing. Noting that the learners with disability are not supposed to get the crumbs. They are equal and they are supposed to be integrated in education just like other children. Thank you.
Thank you, Senator. Okay, Governor.
Thank you, Chair and members. Through the Chair, I have a few questions here to answer. One for Senator Murango, thank you very much. Kiswahili ilikuwa juu sana, but the level of it, but nimengangana nimesikia quite a bit. And I appreciate that. In fact, just so Senator, you know, through the Chair, we call it the Lishe na Mama program. Because you said about Lishe. At first, when they told me that name, I asked, what does Lishe mean? I guess I'm on video. I'm that basic, but asante sana. We appreciate and we are going to keep working harder. My CEC for education is also from Molo. So I see you're from Nakuru, you lived in Molo, so we are working quite hard on that. And I want to point out, Senator, just understand how, I mean,